How many tuna sushi in total did you get? Okay. In terms of tuna, I believe about 15 plates times 2. So that's like 30. Plus another 10 plates. That's another 20. About 50 pieces in like 2 trips. That was, yeah. Hi, Claude. Finana told us you were going to be Aster's daddy in Legoland. Okay, Finana really wanted to go to fucking Legoland. And Legoland usually has a policy that is, you need a child. They don't usually allow just random ass adults to go to Legoland. So the thing was, what she suggested was to bring Aster and be like, this is our 13-year-old son. As a means of sneaking into fucking Legoland. She was really adamant about this idea, but mostly about going to Legoland. Anyway, besides the fucking point. What else was there? Honest to God, I was mostly there initially to just relax. I thought, hey, you know, I'm just gonna go to Japan for a little bit because I just want to relax. I really want to avoid doing too much work. I'll do some work, but I'm not gonna do too much. Originally, I was actually supposed to leave on the 18th. And then I talked to you guys where I was like, oh, you know what? I'm gonna extend a little bit longer to the 24th. So I had like 6 extra days where I was just like, oh, yippee, me with my boys. You know what I mean? Which I'm very glad that I did. As you can see, we did a lot of off collabs, especially the one with just the guys with the voice mimicry. That was fun. It was just a lot of really, really good memories that I think that came from this trip. And honest to God, there's not, well, okay, how else do I put this? I think this trip genuinely was probably one of the most like stress-free that we've had in a long time. Like, sure, there's like us having to worry about being on schedule and doing a bunch of different stuff. But, you know, at the end of the day, this was one of the more relaxing trips where we just were able to just hang out. We were able to go to dinners together. We were able to just relax and talk things, whatever the fuck was going on. And I think that was probably the biggest thing. That was the most important part about this entire trip. It was less about anything crazy in terms of stories, but mostly just being able to experience relaxation with friends. And that's the most important thing. You guys go to the maid cafe? No, unfortunately not, because we ran out of time, and mostly because we kind of just forgot. I think the biggest thing was we really chilled out. Basically, like, we really didn't make plans, if that makes sense. We never made plans because at the end of the day, we would just wing the, like, we would wake up and we just wing it. It's like we'd wake up and we're like, do you guys want to do something? And they're like, yeah, let's do it. That's pretty much it. That was like genuinely how it went the entire weekend. Does someone want to get dinner at this place? Oh, me. I'll go too. Awesome. Let's just go. There was one dinner where it was just me, Sunny, Shu, Wilson, Vox, and that one was pretty awesome. Like, it was a little bit on the pricier side, I'll admit, but genuinely just that the 5 of us, it was very, very nice. We got a little private room. We get yakiniku for like the 17th fucking time, but you know, that's besides the point. Honestly, not a lot of plans. I guess the one thing, it was basically just hanging out a lot with like Wilson, Finana, Vanto, if we could catch him every once in a while. And this was my first time meeting my boy, Leo Cougar. I feel like everybody watching knows Leo at this point. Leo's my guy. He's a great friend of mine. He's my duo. He plays, he's a fucking insane player. He's immortal on JP servers. He's a D3 on NA. That's my man right there. And honest to God, if I like high key, he is one of the guys that I am like, I will, if you need me or if you need a favor, I will happily do it. That's why I'd be willing to mix for him again, right? If you need an emergency commission, I'll do it. Cool. So when I came to Japan, or rather a little bit before, I messaged him because I was like, hey, Leo, I really want to get my hair cut because all of my barbers in America have not been great. You know what I mean? I've not had a quality haircut in a long time. So I was like, hey, Leo, can you hook me up with your hairstyle? And he was like, I got you. And I was like, oh, thank God. Damn, they suck so bad. You had to go international? Okay, it's that, but also I just really wanted to experience, like, I don't know. I wanted to experience like Japanese hairstyles because I've like pretty much everybody else who's done their hair in Japan has always been like, yeah, it's pretty good. It's really good, in fact. And you know, I'll admit, everyone's hair looks really nice. So I'm like, shit, maybe I should do it too. So he hooked me up with this guy, and I was like, awesome. And after that, we went to a nice beef tongue place, and it was like, ooh, this is pretty good. And then I paid for that lunch because I was like, ooh, if I put this on my credit card, this is a tax write-off for me later. which in all fairness, any time that I am talking quote unquote business is a tax write-off. As you would know. Has Erica liked it? Yes, it's awesome, and you'll know what I mean soon. You'll know what I mean soon. So I'm at the airport like pretty early, and I have about what is it? Give or take like 2-ish hours till I board the plane. I'm just chilling. I'm doing nothing. I board the plane. I end up sitting in economy next to this one guy. Now, more often than not, there will be moments where you kind of accidentally look over a little bit. You know what I mean? You'll look over like a little bit because you're just like, oh, you're a little too close, buddy. But like, what are you doing? You know what I mean? So this guy has one of those like fold phones, like the vertical fold phones, like the Samsung like big tablet one. And this dude's listening to Canaria. Like he's listening to Vocaloid. He's listening to Canaria, and I'm looking at it because it's got the fucking like album cover preview on the fucking home screen, and I was like, so you can imagine that I'm like, oh no, what does this mean? And I don't want to say a thing. Because I am like, oh, the degrees of connection to where I am and how this is going to play out are a little too close. You know what I'm saying? Canaria, Vocaloid, lots of Canaria, or lots of VTubers cover Canaria songs. You can imagine what happens when a lot of VTubers cover a Canaria song, but also Canaria himself is also a VTuber. You know what I mean? And if you happen to watch or listen to Canaria, you have an inkling about VTubers. And if anything, if you have an inkling of VTubers, you kind of know about companies and stuff like that. So you can imagine how I am just like, as much as I want to do this, as much as I want to make a friend, not today, because this is little too close. So this is where I do something dastardly. This is where I become a fucking menace. This dude next to me is also watching Arcane. He is watching Act 1. Now, at the time, I also wanted to watch Arcane because I was like, oh, I'm going to watch it when I get home, or watch Act 3 when I get home. I might as well catch up on Act 1 and Act 2. We're both watching Act 1, okay? But keep in mind, I'm watching it on my iPad, so it's a little bigger. But the thing is I'm watching it, but I'm just like maybe like 2 minutes ahead of him, you know what I mean? So in the same vein of I can see what he's watching, I know damn well he could also see what I'm watching. So there was the part of me that I'm like, oh, this does not feel great. I am doing this man a disservice, but also I want to keep watching, and I don't want to be weird and ask him to watch it with him. So you can imagine, neither of us said a single word to each other. And then once we finished Arcane up till Act 2, I then proceeded to put culinary classwares back on, and I watched the team battles, and that was all I did for the rest of that flight. I got home, I Ubered home, because none of my friends were able to pick me up, and that kind of sucked, but whatever, man. I got home, put my bags on the ground, called someone for a little bit because I needed to check in for something, and then I was like, okay, and then I proceeded to knock the fuck out. I was out cold. I slept for like 6 hours.